This isn't a yacht, and it's not a house either. It's what happens when luxury refuses to stay still. A home that floats, a life that moves, and a silence so expensive only a few can afford it. The water moves quietly beneath the floating house, carrying it forward as if it belongs there, as if this was always its destiny. The surface is calm, reflecting the pale blue sky above, broken only by soft ripples spreading outward as the yacht glides ahead. From a distance, it doesn't look like a boat at all. It looks like a modern home that somehow learned how to float, clean and white, sharp lines cutting through the air with confidence and elegance. Glass walls stretch across its sides, revealing a world inside that feels both private and open, grounded yet free. This is not about travel. This is about escape without running away. A life designed to move but never rush. A place where the horizon changes but comfort remains the same. The city skyline slowly drifts behind, tall buildings fading into the background as the floating house continues forward, unbothered by noise, deadlines, or expectations. Inside, light pours in through the panoramic windows, filling the living space with a natural glow that shifts with the movement of the sun. The living room feels alive not because of sound, but because of space. Soft, modern sofas sit perfectly aligned, facing the endless water outside. The design is minimal, intentional, free from clutter. Every object has a reason to exist here. The glass walls blur the boundary between inside and outside, making the water feel like part of the room itself. When the waves move, the reflections dance across the ceiling, subtle and hypnotic, reminding you that you are floating. Even when everything feels still, walking through the space, the floor remains steady beneath your feet. There is no chaos, no instability. This floating house does not fight the water, it cooperates with it. Each step carries a sense of calm, as if the movement of the yacht has synced with your breathing. Outside, the city feels distant now, almost unreal, like a memory rather than a place. Here, the only sounds are the soft hum of motion and the gentle meeting of water and hull. The kitchen opens seamlessly from the living area, modern and clean, designed not just for cooking but for presence. A sleek island stands at the center, its surface reflecting light from the windows. You can imagine morning coffee here, the cup warm in your hands, eyes fixed on the horizon as the day begins without alarms or urgency. The water doesn't demand attention, but it always invites it. As the floating house continues forward, sunlight shifts across the interior, changing the mood without asking permission. Time moves differently here. It stretches, it slows. Minutes feel longer, fuller. The world outside no longer dictates the pace of the world inside. This is what luxury really means, not excess but control over time and space. The bedroom is quiet, almost sacred. A wide bed faces a wall of glass, offering an uninterrupted view of open water. No curtains are needed during the day. Privacy comes not from walls, but from distance. The city is far away now, replaced by sky and water blending into one endless line. At night, the glass reflects soft interior lights, turning the room into a warm cocoon floating in darkness. Lying here, you don't feel like you're on vacation. You feel like you've chosen a different version of life. A version where movement doesn't mean stress, where isolation doesn't mean loneliness, where luxury isn't loud. The floating house doesn't show off. It doesn't need to. Its presence is enough. Outside, the upper deck opens into open air. Clean railings frame the view without interrupting it. The wind moves freely here, carrying the scent of water and the quiet promise of distance. Standing on the deck, you can feel the gentle motion beneath your feet, a reminder that nothing here is fixed, and yet everything feels secure. The sun begins to lower, painting the sky with soft tones of gold and blue, reflections stretching endlessly across the surface below. As evening approaches, the floating house transforms. Interior lights slowly come alive, warm and subtle, glowing through the glass walls like a heartbeat. From the outside, it looks like a lantern drifting across the water, calm and self-contained. The city lights reappear in the distance, not as noise, but as atmosphere. A reminder that the world exists, even when you've chosen to step away from it. Inside, the living space feels even more intimate now. Reflections shimmer softly on the glass, blending interior and exterior, into a single visual experience. Conversations here don't need to be loud. Silence is welcome. It fills the space just as comfortably as sound ever could. This is a place for thinking, for creating, for resting without guilt. Night settles in fully, and the water turns dark, reflecting stars and distant lights like scattered memories. The floating house continues its steady path, unhurried, unconcerned with destinations. It doesn't chase harbors. It doesn't rush toward shore. It exists in motion, but not in pursuit. From the bedroom window, the view has changed again. The water is now a mirror of darkness and light, constantly shifting, constantly alive. The soft hum of movement becomes a lullaby, grounding and reassuring. Sleep comes easily here, not because you're tired, but because your mind finally has space to rest. Morning arrives gently. Light creeps in through the glass, slowly waking the space without forcing it. The water outside is calm again, untouched, waiting. There is no rush to get up, no schedule pulling you forward. The floating house doesn't measure time in hours. It measures it in moments. Stepping back into the living area, the day feels open, full of possibility. The city may return later, or it may not. That choice exists here. Freedom isn't about going anywhere, it's about knowing you can. This floating house doesn't trap you between walls. It carries you forward, offering stability without confinement. From the outside, it continues to glide effortlessly across the water, white and clean against the blue, a symbol of a life redesigned. Not louder, not faster, just better aligned with what actually matters. Space, calm, control, presence. This is not just a houseboat. It is a statement, a quiet one, a refusal to be anchored by noise, by routine, by unnecessary weight. It proves that luxury doesn't need to dominate the environment. It can exist in harmony with it. As the floating house moves on, leaving only soft ripples behind, it becomes clear that this isn't about the destination at all. It never was. It's about choosing how you move through the world, how you live within it, and how gently you leave your mark on it. The water closes behind the house, smoothing itself out as if nothing passed through. But something did, and it changed everything.